Hello YouTube friends, welcome to The Last Homely House. I'm Kate and today I'm up here in my workroom, storerooms, where I put a lot of the fabrics when I'm not using them, otherwise downstairs would look like an explosion in a fabric factory. And today I brought you up here because I want to talk about the video I made with Chris English. It was the last video I think. And he showed me how he makes his amazing style, a very improv style of quilts. And I've been making them ever since. So this one is lots of different orphan blocks and bits and pieces put together. And this one will be made into postcards. This one I particularly like. And this one's a bit wild and wonderful, isn't it? Now, I did make a video about making these. It's over on Patreon. But today I want to talk to you about the fabric choices that I made. This one in particular, I chose some fabric that has a real meaning for me. It's a lovely, beautiful piece of fabric from decades ago that I've used here in this one. This one, not so much, just anything that came to hand. But I wanted to make some more of these, and this time I wanted to intentionally use fabric that has real meaning for me. So I have a box down here filled with treasures that I can't cut into, stuff that I absolutely love. Have you got a box like that? Or more than a box? I definitely have. And so I have this box down here. Just make some space and put it on the table. And I'll show you inside. Okay, so what have we got in here then? Well, this fabric was a pair of trousers I used to wear when I was much younger and thinner. And I've cut that one up already to use somehow or other. That would be a lovely one to include in one of Chris's pieces. This probably is one of the most significant bits of fabric that I've got, and I only have this little bit of it left here. But that has such a lot of memories, that little piece there. That would make a whole video all by itself. Now, what else have we got in here? This is a beautiful piece of Liberty that was a curtain, I think. It's just so beautiful. Let's have a dig down. This is lovely. It's sort of silk, woven silk. Anyway, what I'm looking for today then is these treasures here that I can pull out and use in one of these. Oh, this dress. This dress. Oh my. This is a dress I used to wear all the time when my babies were really little. I have very, very fond memories of this dress. It's very bold, isn't it? I love that one. Okay, so I haven't cut that one up yet, but that one must be 30 years old because I remember my kids being babies when I was wearing this. Oh, look at this one. I can't remember where I got that one from. That's a beautiful sort of Beatrice Potter illustration. That would have been a curtain somewhere. What's this one? Ah, this one. This is a beautiful, it's beautiful fabric. But this is like a tunic that I bought from that clothes line Gudrun that I really, really like. I loved wearing this. Oh, I loved wearing this. Now, I've talked many times, I think, about how I'm not very good at sewing clothes. And how if I was to follow the patterns and the instructions more carefully, I think I'd have a better chance of making clothes. Because look, this one's got mends in it. So this is how much I loved it. I mended it over and over again, not terribly expertly, so that I could carry on wearing it. It's very, very thin and very worn indeed. But you know what? I'm thinking that before I cut this up, I wonder if I could make a pattern out of this. Look at it, it's completely shot. I loved wearing this. I think the clothing that I like to wear is really loose and easy to wear. I don't really like very fitted things, and this fell into that category. It was a lovely tunic, and it had big pockets. Where are they? They're somewhere around on here. Do you know what I think I might do before I cut this up and use it in one of the pieces, the postcard pieces or cushions or whatever they're going to be? I might actually have a go at taking a pattern off this. That's not something I do ever. But what about that for an idea? If I take this apart or draw around it or something and make it into a pattern. Well, I've changed tack. I think I might do that with this beautiful garment that I love so much. Oh, all right. Let's put these away for now. And let's take this one downstairs. Now, if I do manage to make this, what fabric would I use to make it out of? Okay, we'll swap boxes. Now, this is very thin fabric. I mean, it's thin because it's worn and I've worn it a lot, but it was thin when I first had it. So I'm going to look in the box that's this one, which is my Indian block printed fabric. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to have a big enough piece, but I have a memory. No, that's not big enough. I have a memory of having a couple of quite large pieces in here. Some of them aren't very nice though. So for instance, that's a big enough piece probably, but I don't like the pattern. That's a beautiful piece, but not big enough. Okay, let's have a dig round in here. Again, not so bothered about the pattern on that one. It's quite crudely made, that one. Ooh. Oh, I know I have a lot of this. Ah. That's very lovely. Would I wear that? It's quite nice, isn't it? Let's put that one as a possible. I love the green. I can't remember where I bought that from or why I've got so much. Let's see what else is in here. Now there's this one, which I bought to make clothes for the grandkids. And I have made a few bits and pieces for them. No, I'm not feeling the stripes so much. Oh, there's a big piece, but again, I don't think I would wear that. What's in this bag then? Ah, oh, I remember buying these. I bought these at the Festival of Quilts a few years ago, so that's not big enough, but this is. Ooh. I think we may have a winner. Would I wear that? Or would I wear that? It's a lot of work. If I make a pattern from this tunic top thing and I manage to make it work, which one of these am I going to make? Well, it's one of those two, because there's more than enough of both. I like that one very much. Okay then, I'm going to go downstairs with all these bits and pieces and think about which one I'll make and whether I'll manage to make a pattern out of this tunic and whether I'll manage to make a garment. I just need a bit more confidence with sewing, really. Okay, I'm going to go downstairs now, and while I'm going downstairs I want you to think, this one or this one? Which one would you choose? I can't make my mind up. That one, that one's lovely, isn't it? But then, okay, I'll see you downstairs. No idea. No idea. Let's tidy up though before I go. It's not good to leave it in a mess, is it? Come on. So I'm back downstairs now, and I've brought the fabrics that I identified as possibles, but while I was going through my fabrics I remembered I had another one, and this one as well. This is another in that lightweight fabric, which is what this is made out of. And so I've dismissed this one. I think I can't see me wearing that one somehow, in whichever direction I have it. And I think I've also dismissed this one, because although I love pink, you all know how much I love pink, this is a bit too pink for me to wear. I don't wear much pink. And so when I remembered I had this one, and I have a dress that I really like that's a little bit like this. And so although this might look like quite a bold kind of geometric design, of the three of them, I think this is the one I prefer. And it's the same weight as this fabric here. Now, as I'm looking at this Gudrun top here, it's so mended. There's so many bits of darns and mends in it. So I must have really loved it, mustn't I? I've done a little bit of unpicking of this already. This is all the little bits of thread here. And I've unpicked the facings. Now, facings. I'm not a clothes maker at all, but I really want to be. And so I think this challenge here is going to be a good one for me to use this pattern. So I've undone all the little bits and pieces of facing, and I think it will be good for me to practice on making clothes. I do. So I'm going to iron out all the seams, because the seams are well pressed in here, because I wore this top for so long. I'm going to iron all these out so that I've got an actual size to cut round. And the pockets are lovely on this. I've unpicked all of these separate parts, and the pockets here, the front of that's the front of the skirt of the thing, if you like, is cut like so, and then the pocket is put behind it. I like that. So well, we'll definitely be trying to do that. And I've got the sleeve here. Now the thing about this fabric here, it's got quite a bold geometric pattern, and the part at the front here, we just swap sides. This bit here is the front, and I think that it's going to be really important to pattern match this, so that as it has got an obvious regular pattern, it would be a mistake, I think, to have them offset. So I'll cut these from the same piece and just cut it in the middle. I know what I mean, something like that. So let's just look at what the piece is. Oh, I've just had an idea. How would it be if I cut the facings out of this? You wouldn't see them. You wouldn't see the facings at all, but that might be quite fun to have the facings in a different fabric. Oh well, we can make a decision about that when we get there. That's what I love, I think, about making clothes, is the decisions you can make along the way. So this fabric here I like now, but maybe we can do some little funky bits and pieces. So I've got one sleeve, that's all I need. I can cut both of them from that. And sometimes with the sleeves are different on the back than they are on the front because of the way bodies are, I'm noticing. And this one is slightly different on one side, so I'll make sure that I cut those out mirror image of each other. The bits of facing are here. There's a back facing. I wonder how it would be if I did that in a different colour. It might look quite nice. Well, we'll see. Back facing, the two front facings here. And then there's the pockets. Oh, if we're going to do that then, would the pockets look any good in this? Maybe not. A few decisions to be made along the way here. I love the pockets. That's the front skirt, if we're going to call it that. And then this bit here, which I haven't unpicked too much of, I have to do this now because this is the back with a big old darn in it. Okay, I have more than enough fabric with this one. So I think what I'll do now is I'll press this and I'll start laying out the pattern pieces and see how that looks. Yeah, I think this is going to be a lovely experiment to see just how well or badly I can make a garment. Because usually if I do make something, I end up not wearing it because I don't like it. and I'd really like to think that I would wear this one again. Okay, right, I'm just going to carry on unpicking then to get all the pieces that I need. It's got poppers up the front, which I quite like. I quite like those poppers, so we may either unpick those poppers maybe and put them on, because they're perfectly all right, because that's another thing that I'm absolutely terrified of, buttonholes. Okay, I'm just going to carry on unpicking this then to get all the pieces that I need. And I'll see you shortly with a little bit more progress on this. Well, it's ages later, days later. Could you hear that cold rattling around in my voice when I was talking before? I'm back to this project now, and I'm really keen to get on with it because it looks like we're having some warm weather for a change here in the north of England. And so I'm unpicking the pieces, the last of the pieces, and putting them on the board. But I'm going to use this fabric, and I'm just wondering what you think about me washing it first. Now, when I'm quilting, I never wash quilting weight cotton. I don't really do enough dressmaking to know if that's a thing that I need to do. So I've decided, because you'll be answering this question to me right now, but I can't hear you. So I'm actually going to wash this. I'm going to put it through the washing machine, give it a wash, hang it out to dry. So it's a nice warm day. I might get this dry today. But while this is washing, I'm going to carry on and picking the rest of this. I think, on balance, it seems like a good idea. Wash it, iron it, and then we'll cut it out and get started making this this dress, tunic, whatever it's called. Okay, I'll be back when this is dry. Okay, so I've ironed out all the seam allowances on these pieces here, and I've laid the first piece out, and so I folded this fabric in half so that the front bits of this tunic will meet up, but immediately there's a problem. They won't meet up exactly because, of course, there's a fold over here. It's quite a deep one. It's at least an inch and a half. That's fine though. We'll just make sure that the patterns run. They'll be fine. I mean, one thing I could do, I guess, is I could cut the pattern pieces to make allowance for that, because there's so much of this fabric. I could do that.
actually, before I set scissors to fabric. I'm overthinking this. Does anybody watch the programme The Great British Sewing Bee, which is it's a UK-based sewing competition where people have to make different garments? I don't generally like those programmes because they pit people against each other, but against the clock. Now, if I had to make this in 45 minutes, there's no way I could do it and then have it judged by these beady-eyed judges. I like to take my time and work out these little things that I'm doing, these pattern matching things. So I'm going to cut this first piece out and we'll see where we go with that. I've got the facings here. I did have an idea that I might show you. So all my pieces. I did have an idea that I might do the facings in this colour, so that this would be the back of the neck and inside here and the top of the pockets, but I'm not going to do that. I like it very much. It's a little bit of Indian block printed fabric that I brought back from India when I went to India, and it's actually one of the designs that Gudrun made at that time. She was making clothes in this, so it would fit in quite nicely to have a bit of Gudrun in there, but at the last minute I've changed my mind, so I'm not going to do that. So taking scissors to fabric, but thinking about it a little bit more carefully first. That's the plan anyway. Well, it's much later now, and I've got to this point here where I've stitched together the shoulder seams and I've put that tricky little facing in. Can you see? On the original, this was machine stitched down. I've not decided what I'm going to do about that yet. I'm putting this back together in exactly the way that I remember unpicking it. And so the thing I need to put on next, let's get the pattern pieces over here, is the sleeves. Now on all the hems, the front hem here, I've left myself plenty of fabric so that I can make this, I'll try it on and I'll make this just as big as it needs to be. But I've given myself a little extra just in case the tunic that I wore 25 years ago. See what size I am now. It did fit though before I took it apart. So sleeves now, I'm going to sew those on and sew the side seams up, then I'll try it on. And then what there is left to do then is put the two skirt pieces on. Oh, and the pockets, they're going to be interesting. So with the pockets, those are the sleeves. These are the two skirt pieces. What I'm going to do, if this all works out how I want it to, I'm going to transfer these pattern pieces to paper so that I can make this again if I want to. Now I have cut the pockets out. Where have I put them? Let me find them. Here we go. So with the original pocket, the top of it, no, not this part, hang on, I'll get the right piece. That's that bit. Okay. With the pockets, there was originally a little folded over bit and sewn. I think I might face that. I think I might put a little bit of bias fabric. I've got loads of this fabric left over. A little bit of bias on that and tuck that underneath and stitch that down. Now it's occurred to me that I might do some hand stitching, some hand top stitching on this, because I really do like the look of a running stitch. But this fabric is quite busy. And it might be that it doesn't need anything other than just the ordinary machine stitching. So, but that's what, again, what I love about this process is I can do that if I want to. I can add bits and pieces in if I want to. But for now, those are the pockets there. And I'm going to stitch the sleeves on now. Here. Okay, I'll do that and I'll show you what it looks like. I might have a little try on after that, just to see how it's going. This is the part I was talking about this bit here, which is on the front skirt, and the pocket is behind it. So in order to see a bit of the pocket behind, there's a little scooped out bit there. And with this one, it's just sewn over. And I was thinking I might make a little bit of bias tape to go there. And the easiest way to do this out of scraps is just to fold. In fact, I need it two lots, don't I? So the fabric cut on the bias has got a stretch to it, which will stretch nicely round the pocket there. It's only a small curve, but I might as well do it. So I'll fold that like so, and then I can find all my bits and pieces. I'll cut myself, let's think now, 2 inches of bias tape, 2 1/4, no 2, yeah 2 inches of bias tape, something like that. And so that, yeah, that's more than enough. So that bit then will go round this part of the pocket. So I need another piece like that for the other pocket. And it's easy enough to do now that I've got that angle. I'll just put my ruler on 2 inches this time, not 1 inch on the fold, and cut myself another piece of bias. That's more than enough for both pockets. You'll see what I mean when I do it. Okay, now I'm going to machine sew that onto there on the other side, and then I'm going to fold it over and hand stitch it down. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll do that now. Just make sure it's long enough. Yes, it's long enough. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do that now. Yes, I think I'm going to be glad I did that. So I'll fold that over there now. Fold, and it's going to fold backwards so that you don't actually see it. So you're not going to see it on the front of, but it's going to be back there. And I can probably trim quite a bit of this off. So I'll do that now. I'm going to machine it down or hand stitch it. I think I might hand stitch it, something like that. And I've changed my mind. I was going to sew this together, the bodice together, and try it on, but I'm actually going to sew the fronts and the backs on the front skirt and the back skirt onto these, and then sew both the side seams up together. I think that makes better sense. So what's that there? That needs a pin. Ah, that's fine. Okay, take that pin out now. Dressmaking's quite a lot more fiddly than quilting, isn't it? And here it is finished. I'm really quite pleased with it. I put the poppers on. I'll show you a close-up of the way that the poppers look on the front button band here, whatever. And I did a bit of pattern matching. I think you can see where these meet here. It's not too bad. It's not too skew whiff anyway. I like the pockets. I like them very much. What can I say? What can I say? It's given me a lot of confidence to think that I probably can make clothes if I pay a close attention and measure twice, cut once, all of that. And I'm going to have a go at that coat now, the one that I talked about a few videos ago. But for now, the real reason why I got this project out in the first place was because I was looking for special fabrics to use in this style that I learned from Chris English. And I wanted to use some of my, like on this one here, I wanted to use some of my precious fabric, and I fished this one out thinking I would use this in that postcard construction way, but now I absolutely can. So I'll put those to one side for now. But before I cut these up, of course, I'm going to make a pattern out of all the pieces and write the instructions, because this was the pattern originally, but I'll put a pattern onto paper now so that I can keep it and make myself another one of these. I wonder if I would change anything if I made it again. I might make the pockets a bit deeper. The pockets are pretty good, but I might make them bigger, because the pockets on the inside here, they can be as big as I want them to be. That's the only thing. I like the square neck. I like the fit of it because I liked it when it was this. So of course I like the fit of it. But now I've got some brown paper. Well, it's not actually, it's funky wrapping paper, but it's good strong paper. And I'm going to make a pattern now with these pieces. And so I hope you feel encouraged to take a pattern off a favourite garment. I don't think you have to unpick it. I think you could be careful about taking the pattern off that completed garment. That's the next challenge, I suppose. And so if you have enjoyed watching this video, then give it a thumbs up and a share and a like and a comment and all the things that YouTube ask you to do. I'd be grateful. I really would. And I will see you maybe with that coat, because I've got the pattern for the coat that I was going to make in that amazing green boiled wool kind of stuff. And I've got all that. It's all there. But what I'm going to do with that one is think about it a bit more carefully, like I did with this, and end up with something that I love. I do love this. I will make this again. So thanks for watching. Big hug from me, and I'll see you again soon with something else. Take care.